Hello and welcome to another update video. In this video I want to talk about Hard. Hard is the token that is used by the Kava lend platform, and Kava is basically a lend borrow platform, a DeFi app which is running on the Cosmos blockchain. I was asked to cover this by one of my channel members. I did say before, if you're a channel member, I'm happy to prioritize these requests. And otherwise I can't just handle them all. So we're going to take a look at Hard today. I think Hard is due to break out very soon. And let's just take a look at where we are here on the daily. This is the Binance chart basically. So we have had a high this year, and we're going to go back to pretty much this day here, which was the 17th of March. And we made a high of, where are we here? Roughly $3.23, right? There you go, $3.23. So that is the high that we marked here on the daily. That was only the wick though, but nevertheless we reached that price. So at the moment, I mean, we are at below $1 and we fall pretty sharply, and then we didn't really make a new high after March. So that is different to many other cryptos, and we came down, we marked the low here, which was here on the 23rd of May, and we came all the way down to 43 cents. If we zoom out, in my view, what we can see is that we actually came up here in a, possibly in the beginning in a wave 1, then we came up in a wave 2, then we came up in a wave 3, yeah, or even here, had a wave 4 correction, slight overlap to line, to wave 1, sometimes that's allowed if it's just a slight overlap, so that happened. Then we had a wave 5 here, so we came up in these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave patterns based on the Elliott wave method. And that was the 5th wave here where we marked that high, and then we went down in an A, B, C correction. And now in my view, what we have is already a new wave 1, came down in a wave 2 here, and we are still in a wave 3 in my view, even though we came down here again, but that wouldn't be a valid wave 4 correction because we come down too far. So I mean, in my view, we are still in a wave 3 here. And again, it can be confusing with Elliott waves, so I won't go into detail. It all depends on when you start counting, which time frame and so on, and which level of detail. But in my view, we are in a wave 3, which would indicate that we are continuing our way to the upside. So what we can see here, that we're actually, since the end of July, that we're also in an uptrend. And even though we had a correction here together with the flash crash that Bitcoin did, we can see that we are in this uptrend, right? So we have an uptrend that has been coming up since the end of July. We came all the way up. Then, however, we came down again in this correction, but overall we are still above that ascending trend line. So in my view, we are in an uptrend, even though at the moment we're actually trading below the 20-day moving average, below the 50 and below the 200. But looking at this time period here, we are in an uptrend. So it's a short-term uptrend. Actually, overall, and depending on from when you look at, it looks like we are in a downtrend because we are below these moving averages. But take the overall picture into account. We came all the way down here to 43 cents. Since then, we haven't seen that low again, and it looks to me as we're making higher lows here, not higher highs though necessarily, but we're making higher lows, that we may have formed the bottom here. And in my view, it would be still early days to get into the trade, but that's not financial advice. But I think it's certainly a very interesting formation that's building here at the moment. And we can see that we are just about below the 50 line here on the RSI, so still in the bearish range. But what I would be looking out for before entering a trade, I would like to see us jumping above 50 into the bullish range. I think that'd be important to get above 50 here on the RSI. We have seen a long signal already on the ADX. So we actually haven't actually had a short signal for a while now. So since June, actually, we've seen this long signal, and this is still valid. Yeah, so this is quite positive. And also on the MACD, we are seeing a trend change here now. We've made a bullish cross, and we can see us getting into the green range on the histogram. So there was another buy signal as well. It's just the RSI, which is still below 50, but I think it's coiling up here. We are making higher lows here at the moment, and getting closer to the 50 line. So, I think as soon as we are breaking out of this triangle pattern, we are certainly going to jump above the 50 line here. And I think we will break above the 50 line because, and we were also breaking out to the upside of this triangle. That's my view. And take a look at how Solana looked, and we called for this breakout of that triangle pattern on this channel. So there you go, you've got a very similar triangle pattern. You know, you've got this ascending trend line. We had this triangle pattern here forming, and it looks more or less the same or similar. And we've got various cryptos which are currently still in this triangle pattern. And most cryptos I've seen that are in this triangle pattern, they actually broke out to the upside. So there isn't too much risk if we compare it to the other cryptos. Of course, it always depends on what Bitcoin is doing at the moment. But if Bitcoin is holding fairly stable at the moment, I think they should all continue that way. So we are in this triangle and we broke out to the upside, and that is what I expect for hard as well. So if hard is breaking out to the upside, we could be looking here at and by the way, we're moving closer to that apex. So that apex is on the 17th of October, but anytime, maybe even in the next move to the upside to that descending resistance line, we could actually push out. So if you see the price getting above $1.05, that could be a breakout. Bear in mind, the $1 line is probably a psychological resistance level, which is why we actually have some resistance here at exactly $1. You can see that here, where the candles on the daily closed here very exactly at $1. So let me just highlight that on the chart here, the $1 line. First of all, we need to go get above that, and then we need to break out above $1.05. And depending on when that is going to happen, that descending trend line is actually decreasing. Obviously, the value from day to day is decreasing. So maybe it will be here when we are exactly hitting that, where the descending trend line meets the horizontal $1 line. Maybe that is when we break them both. I could imagine, just a speculation here. But then if we get above $1, what do we have to look out for? Next level that we've got on here is, $1.10. That's the next level where we had various support and resistance points before. A lot of resistance here, we had support here. So that is what we need to watch out for, $1.10. And then the next critical one in my view is this one here. You can clearly see that $1.30. So these are, in my view, the next price targets if we break out of that triangle. And when that happens, I'm going to update you anyway about my further price targets. But these are the most important ones that we need to watch out for. Should we really break to the downside? And I can't see it now, but I think then we could drop quite hard. I think in the first instance we could drop to here, this support range here that we had at around 80 cents. Yeah, and should we drop even further, I think we drop somewhere here to the 68, 69 cent range. But just confident that because most of these triangles did hold, most of these ascending trend lines did hold, and most cryptos that were in this pattern actually did break out to the upside. So I'm waiting for that. And let's just have a final look at the 1 hour chart. So there you go. You can see that on the 1 hour, yeah, we're just being held below that $1 level at the moment. Still making, though, on the largest, from here to there, made a higher low, and we continued that. So yeah, we are in this temporary, short-term uptrend here. And if we break that to the upside, I managed to get above $1 and $1.05. I think it's looking good at the moment. It's just moving sideways a little bit, very slowly. But I think we've seen the bottom here forming. And on the 1 hour, we are now getting into the bullish range here on the RSI. We've got scope to the upside. So I guess the next move will be an attempted breakout above the $1 line. That's what I would imagine. Still the long signal here on the ADX. And we are about to make a bullish cross here on the MACD. You can see that still above the 0 line, and we're about to make a bullish cross here. So yeah, I'm closely watching hard. If you want me to cover this going forward, then let me know in the comments. Hope you liked the update. Let me know what you think about hard and Kava as well, Kava Land. These are related, obviously. And yeah, if you like the content, please smash the like button. And if you want to follow me on this crypto journey, then please subscribe. Thanks a lot for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.